Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the class. My name is Audrey, and we've already had our vocab class for today. Next is our reading lesson, so I hope you'll join me also for this one. And those of you who weren't in the last class, of course, you're welcome. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a topic commonly referred to as liberal arts, this discussion between liberal arts and math and science. So we'll talk a little bit more about it as we go through the lesson. But basically, I'm sure some of you have heard of this debate or this discussion between if we should focus studying the arts and history and things like this, or if we should focus on just science and math and technology. Okay, so we're going to read a little bit about that specifically as it talks about the American education system. But as always, I want you to be listening and comparing what you see in the article with your own country and your own country's education system. Okay, so I hope you'll join me. Probably now is for reservations, but in just a moment, everybody will be able to join. Welcome back, Giovanni. Nice to see you.
I keep following you.
Yes, it's good to see you again, though.
You are my favorite teacher.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay, we also have Dennis. How are you?
Yes. Hello, Audrey. Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the class. Is it Dennis? Did I say it right?
Yes, quite
Okay,
right.
perfect. And where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Excellent. A fellow Russian, because we also have Andrew. Welcome.
Hello, Audrey.
And are you close? I'm just curious. Where in
No.
Russia do you live, Andrew?
No,
Oh,
actually,
you already know. You already know.
there is the distance between us, and there is a distance 8,000 kilometers.
Okay, you're not close at all.
No.
I see. And where do you live in Russia, Andrew? I don't remember.
I live on far east of Russia, quite close to Vladivostok. Maybe you know this city.
Maybe I don't.
Yeah, it's
You know,
close,
it's close to China.
US.
Okay, I know China.
It's close to US than to me.
I see.
Than to Moscow. I'm from Moscow.
From Moscow, excellent. Okay, and Ismail, welcome again. How are you?
I am fine, thank you, Audrey. Nice to see you again.
Yes, always wonderful to see you. We also have, let me see, Alexis joining us. Maybe we'll give you some time to get settled in. Make sure to unmute your microphone. Okay, I'll go ahead and put the article on the screen. Please let me know again if you have any trouble accessing the article. One moment. Okay, so as we begin talking about this and reading the article, of course, I'm going to let you know if you have any pronunciation mistakes, and you can ask me whatever questions you have, whether it be about pronunciation, vocab, context, it doesn't matter. Please ask as many questions as you can, and of course we're going to have a discussion as we read the article. So the article is about this difference between focusing on general studies. This is something that the American education system focuses a lot on. We call it the liberal arts, and it's all about having a well-rounded student. So instead of just studying mathematics, even if you're studying mathematics, you have to study history and art and music and all these other things that don't necessarily relate to your study, but make you a more rounded or more generally educated person. Okay, and I'll just start by asking you a question about your own country. Does the higher education system focus more on this liberal arts, on this general education, than on specific studies. Andrew, would you answer it for us first?
Audrey, the Russian education system is a bit different than American's one. For example, students can't choose the subject they want. For example, in the United States universities or colleges, students just have opportunity to choose what they want to learn at university. But in Russia, it's on the contrary.
Mm-hmm. And so, how is it decided?
You mean subjects?
Right.
It, they are decided by the program, by
Mm-hmm.
the whole year program.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very interesting. So let's go. We'll go next to Dennis. Could you tell us a little bit more your perspective on the Russian education system?
Oh, it's a very complicated question. It depends what you mean particularly.
Right. Well, imagine that, for example, somebody is studying math. So in Russia, they're studying math. Would they also have to take many courses in other areas, even if they're only studying math?
Yes, as far as I know, I don't know exactly about which situation is now because I have graduated from my
Mm-hmm.
university several years ago, 6 years ago. But as far as I know now, mathematics and Russian language is necessary. Uh, uh, how can I say it's a grade at school and it's in university? What is it? First year at university.
A freshman.
Freshman? Mm-hmm.
One more time.
A freshman. When you're a
Okay,
freshman?
yeah, for your first year, yeah. In university, it's you study mathematics and Russian language. It's
Mm-hmm.
necessary. It's necessary to study them.
Mm-hmm. So no matter what you're studying, you have to study math and Russian?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Um,
So that would be an example of more of a liberal arts education. So you're forced to take these subjects, whether it be good or bad, you're forced to take them so that everybody is more generally educated.
yeah, but sometimes it's a big problem because I always had a problem with mathematics, and for me at university it was a big problem for this first year because I know nothing about mathematics, and of course it's good, but I don't know. Uh, and maybe now a couple of another subjects. I'm not sure. I'm getting old, so I'm already not know.
Dennis, I've got some task for you.
Okay, what is it?
Oops, I'm not sure, but my verbal chat isn't working now.
Yes.
Mathematics. Giovanni, how about you?
About
Do you know?
mathematics,
Answer.
so
No,
I
no.
hate.
Andrew put
the example and
In Google,
the
in Google chat box, yeah, example, something about mathematics in Google chat.
Yes, I'm not able to solve this
Yeah,
whole
me too, so,
problem.
that's
Hello?
too complicated, yeah.
Can you hear
Hello,
me?
Audrey.
yeah,
Welcome back.
welcome
Thank
back.
you. Thank you. I apologize for that. But I see that you guys continued your discussion, which is excellent. So hopefully that won't happen again. This is why I took a little bit of a break because my connection is a little bit too um, shaky, but hopefully it doesn't happen again. Okay, let's go back to the screen.
And Andrew, maybe it's 6. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
okay, it's not so
you're
bad.
quite right. It equals 6. 6. Uh-huh.
Are we talking about mathematics here?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
easiest example. I put it in a chat box, the Google
Uh-huh.
chat box. But most of people say it equals 8, but really it equals 6.
For some reason, the Google Chat's not working for me, but I might still be experiencing some technical problems, but hopefully not too bad. Did you share with us, Giovanni, a little bit about this topic in Italy?
Well, I think that okay, in Italy it's a little bit different because every student has the right to choose the appropriate study plane. But I think that some such subject has mathematics or I don't know, Italian or even English, even foreign language, uh, are considered as a base, are such as the base of our study plan. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you get university, you can choose the right one. I mean, everybody has an attitude. Okay, I'm inclined to study English more than mathematics. So as soon as I get university, I can choose foreign language as my plan of study. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, in Italy there is enough freedom to choose the right one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. And we'll, of course, hear a little bit more about that as we continue. Ismail, would you like to share about your country a little bit?
Sorry, is it for me?
For Ismail.
Okay.
Yes, Audrey, people are choosing mathematics and techniques more than the other because in the future, uh, students who are graduate from this these sections are more common to find good job opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's why people don't want their child to choose music or art or something like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the real problem, not really problem, but the real issue that these critics, as you can see in the article, it says critics of the liberal arts are wrong. The real issue here is that not that people aren't choosing these topics, but that when somebody chooses a field like engineering or mathematics or physics, things like this, they are also required to study the arts. So a lot of critics of this system would say that that's a waste of time, that they're wasting time by teaching engineering students art and language and history. But people who support this system would say that it supports well educated and well rounded individuals. So we will go ahead and start with this article and we'll see what you think. Again, if you have any questions at any time, please ask. Alexis, are you there? Alexis, you might need to turn on your microphone. We'll come back to you. Let us know in the chat if you have problems. Let's go to Andrew. Andrew, would you read us the title and the subtitle?
Critics of the liberal arts are wrong. Yes, science and teach are important, but a new report shows that employers prize more broadly based education.
Okay, great. Again, just an introduction into our article. A problem with pronunciation. This word should be tech.
Okay, tech. Not
Because,
teach, but tech.
exactly, because it's an abbreviation for technology. Okay, let's go to the next section here. And David or Davide, how is it?
Davide.
Davide. Where are you from?
Italy. I'm from Italy.
Excellent, wonderful. Yes, Giovanni's got a friend.
Yeah. Ciao Giovanni.
Ciao bello.
Perfect. So would you like to read for us the next paragraph?
Yeah, of course. The question of whether our government should promote science and technology or liberal arts in higher education is not an either-or proposition. Although the current emphasis on preparing young Americans for STEM-related fields can make it seem that way.
Okay, excellent. So I'm just going to explain this a little bit to make sure we're understanding the problem. So it says the question of whether our government should promote science and technology or the liberal arts. Remember, the liberal arts is this rounded education system so that we study history, art, music, things like this, in addition to science and technology. Okay, just a pronunciation correction for you, Davide. This word higher, make sure to pronounce that H, higher.
Higher.
Okay, great. And this right here, STEM, we pronounce that STEM, STEM-related fields. Okay, even though it is actually an acronym, it stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics.
Okay.
Okay, Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, or STEM fields. This is what everybody is going towards. Like Ismail said, people want to go into these STEM fields because there's a lot of job opportunities there.
Audrey,
Okay.
what does STEM mean?
STEM, it stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math.
Okay.
Okay, it's an acronym, and we refer to the STEM fields as one big group of fields. Okay? So that's a common acronym you'll see in a discussion about education. Any other questions there?
No.
Okay,
Audrey, I couldn't understand this passage exactly, especially the last time.
Yeah, so let me just explain it a little bit more. So it says the question of the science or the liberal arts is not an either-or proposition. What that means is we shouldn't pick one or the other. We shouldn't say we're only going to focus on science and technology or we're only going to focus on the liberal arts. So this is the debate, but we can see that the author here believes we should have a mixture. We should have science and technology in addition to the liberal arts. Okay?
Okay.
Other questions there?
No.
And then that last part, just to explain the second part of the paragraph, it says, the current emphasis on preparing young Americans for these STEM-related fields makes it seem that way. So in America right now, we have a lot of emphasis on these STEM fields. So we're saying everybody needs to go into science, technology, engineering, and math, and nothing else is important. So the author believes, as you can see by the title, that liberal arts are important as well. Okay? Let's go next to Dennis. Could you read the next one for us?
I sat on a commission put together by the American Academy of Arts and Sciences to explore this very question, and a subsequent report released today acknowledges the critical importance of technical training, but also says without equivocation that the study of the humanities and the social sciences must remain central components of America's educational system at all levels.
Okay, excellent pronunciation. Just one problem with the stress of this word, components. Components.
Component.
Okay, components, yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Everything else was great. Again, that's the author talking in this first person view. And he's saying again, repeating what he said basically in the last one, that there's importance of technical training and also importance in the study of humanities and social sciences. Okay, there might be some new words there. Does anybody have questions there?
Yes, Audrey. Equivocation. What does it mean?
Does anybody know what that means? Equivocation? You might have a similar word in your language.
Without any doubt. Okay, without any. Okay, and this is just a similar.
Right, without any doubt or without any error. Okay. So it asserts without equivocation that the study of humanities and social sciences must remain a central component. So it's making this assertion, making this statement without any doubts or without any problems there. Okay, good question. Other questions?
Okay, the verb asserts without any negation.
So to assert, in this case, it's to assert an idea. To assert an idea or to make a statement. Maybe to explain, but more to make a statement. To make a declaration, you could say.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Other questions?
Hello.
Hi, Alexis. Welcome.
Hi, thanks. What means put together?
Let's see. Where is it in the paragraph? I don't see it.
In the first
put together. I see. Yeah. I sat on a commission, put together, or created. So this commission was created by the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Assembled, you could say.
Thanks.
Get together.
Okay, good question. Other questions? Let's go to the next one and read a little bit more. Let me see. Giovanni, would you read it for us?
Yes. Both areas are critical to producing citizens who can participate effectively in our democratic society, become innovative leaders, and benefit from the spiritual enrichment that the contemplation of ethics, morals, aesthetics, and the great ideas over time can provide.
Okay, great. Just one word about the stress. right here should be innovative. Innovative.
Okay, let me take note.
So the stress is on that first syllable. Innovative.
Innovative. Okay.
Innovative.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent. Any questions there?
Yes, Audrey.
Okay.
What does contemplation mean?
Let me see the context here. The contemplation of ethics, morals, aesthetics, and the great ideas over time. So contemplation is like a process of thought, like a deep thought.
Think deeply.
Exactly. So what are they saying here? Does anybody want to summarize what we've read so far? I know it's kind of a difficult text, but does anybody kind of understand the general meaning?
It's about that liberal objects are also very important in your education. General.
Okay, more or less, we can say that this article tells about the effective importance of humanities and social subject in technical studies. I mean, if this subject can affect in some way the future engineer or the future mathematic in order to to lead they work properly.
Right. So in addition to that technical training, there's something else that student or that engineer needs to help them become more effective, more innovative leaders. Okay, and you summarized it very well. So what do you think? Do you agree basically with what they're saying, those in the class?
Yeah, I'm a software engineer.
Okay, excellent. And as a software engineer, did you have to take these humanities and social sciences?
Okay, in my university, no, but now I miss it just because reading some books and joining the humanities like literature or picture, or I improve I expand my mind. And of course, it's now it's better than before.
Right. So even though, go ahead, Giovanni.
Can I say something? Because in Italian, it's very common, the expression forma mentis. It comes from Latin, you know. And it is this kind of expression describes the way of being and the way the way your brain works, connected to the fact that you had studies about, I don't know, literature or history or social subject. Okay, but I would like to show you. I would like to explain another example because this is a famous one. Okay, Steve Jobs. Okay, the well-known Steve Jobs. Okay, he had a famous speech in front of Stanford University, and he said, okay, without my study in calligraphy, okay, I wouldn't have been anything about my company. In other words, any subject we study can affect our future work. And this is very important for everybody. I think that even for a future engineer, and this Steve Jobs is a great example for this.
Right. That's a very excellent example there because you would think, why does somebody who is creating this computer company needs some subject like calligraphy. And that's what a lot of critics of this liberal arts education system might say, that it's a waste of time for someone to study this when they could study something that's related to their field. They could study more about technology.
Yes, calligraphy, for example, is so far from software engineering, for example, but it affected the Steve Jobs' life in order to create the Apple company, maybe the most famous software company in the world. That's why we have to study all the subjects.
Excellent. Does anybody want to comment maybe on the other side of things, that maybe there might be some negatives to this liberal arts education?
Well, if to speak something in opposition, I agree with all that in general, but now we all are surrounded by a huge amount of information, and students in universities just don't have enough time to study anything else except of technology. It's not because it's a waste of time, but it's just because you don't have enough time to do it.
Right, right.
But of course it's very important, especially for children or for teenagers, because education, it's not only about facts, but it's about ideas and imagination in general. It's,
right.
It's not what you think about, not about facts, but how you think about it, in which way.
Right. And it's really easy, I think, when you're a student, to think that there are some negatives to this idea. Maybe if you're studying something else, maybe that's not science and technology. Maybe you're studying to be an English teacher, and you have to take calculus in school. They might say, why do I have to take this? This has nothing to do with what I'm studying. I'll never use this in my life. But it adds to the more rounded individual, to being educated in many different subjects.
And by the way, it's very difficult to teach people about art, for example, because if you teach people mathematics, you just a fact, you give them facts, and it's quite easy. But if you listen a lecture, listen a lecture. Yeah, listen.
Well, to listen to a lecture.
Yeah, about art, sometimes it's just how can I say? It's a water. It's just a flood about absolutely unnecessary information, just absolutely empty sentences. And it's a really very hard sometimes to how can I say, to make people interested? How can I say?
Yeah, you can say that, to make people interested, or to get people's attention, maybe.
Yeah, and you should be a very good teacher if you teach art.
Right, and it's kind of there's more gray area, meaning that there's not so much right and wrong. It's just a study of technique and maybe appreciating the art. So I think you have a good point. With math, it's right or wrong. Is this equation correct, or is it incorrect, and things like that. And when you have other subjects, maybe it's more difficult. Okay, let's go back to the article. Great discussion. Isma, would you read for us the next section?
Okay. The commission was created in 2011 at the request of members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, and in a time of great economic uncertainty and insecurity. Parents and students who have invested heavily in higher education fret about graduates' job prospects as technological advances and changes in domestic and global markets transform profession in ways that reduce wages and cut jobs.
Okay, great. One correction there. This word insecurity. So instead of insecurity, that U is pronounced with the long U sound. Insecurity.
Insecurity.
Okay, great. So if you'll remember, we took a little bit of a break from the article, so let me remind you what we were talking about. The commission, if we'll scroll back, we have a commission put together or assembled by the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. So this commission was created in 2011 in a time of great economic uncertainty and insecurity. And this commission, maybe we'll see a little bit more what it's supposed to provide, but it tries to provide a balance between the arts and the sciences to create educated individuals. Are there questions in that paragraph?
Yes, the word fret, please.
Yeah.
So parents and students who have invested heavily in higher education fret about graduates' job prospects. To fret is to worry about something.
Worry, okay. This is interesting.
So they're fretting or they're worrying about the job prospects, the possible jobs that they could get with their degree.
Audrey.
Sure. What?
Oh, in the part where it say the parents and students who have invest heavily, it means that they are rich, or I guess that only the rich people or only the people have invested a lot of money, they can decide about the education.
Well, it says parents and students who have invested heavily in higher education. And what it's talking about is not just about the rich people, but that education is a big investment, both economically and with your time. So you invest a lot of money and time into your education, a lot of money, time, emotion, things like this. And when you have that large of an investment, you can be worried, you can fret about the reward, or what job will you get after making such a large investment. So it's not saying necessarily that only the rich people are worried about this or only the rich people have a say. It's just saying that anybody who has studied in a university or in a college usually has made a big investment.
Audrey.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask about the word wax. I don't know. That reduce wax and cut jobs. So
wages. It's wages.
Yes, wages.
Wages is like a salary or a pay.
Sorry. Yes, okay. Thanks.
Okay, wages, your wage is how much you get paid for a job.
Salary.
Right. Okay, other questions? Did I answer your question, Alexis? Not really.
Sorry? What did you
say? Did I answer your question?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Any other questions there?
Audrey, can I ask a question, but off topic?
Okay.
How should I say, for example, U.S. and their citizens or its citizens?
U.S. Would be singular, so U.S. and its citizens.
Okay, and for example, and the same in U.S. and its politic. Because it's a very common to find there in.
Right, and that's a very common mistake that native speakers will make, and maybe it's not so much a mistake
Yeah,
as a style.
even native speakers. Yeah.
Right. But technically, grammatically, it should be its because the U.S. is referred to as one singular body.
Yeah, but how about someone, someone and per person, which pronoun you should use, because he's or her, it's quite inappropriate sometimes for some people.
Mm-hmm.
So you use their in this case, person and their interests sometimes.
Right. To make it more general, because you don't know if it's a man or a woman. You mean?
Yeah, more polite.
Exactly.
So in these
Exactly.
cases, it's normal because it's also a grammatical mistake. What is normal? What is normal in this
Exactly.
case?
In that case, so instead of saying his or her interests, you would say their interests.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Very good question. Any other questions there? Let's go next to Selma. Are you there, Selma?
Hello.
You're very quiet. We can barely hear you. Can you get any closer to the microphone?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. There we go. Now we can hear you.
Okay.
Welcome to the class. Would you like to read the next paragraph?
Okay, teacher. Under these circumstances, it's natural to look for what may appear to be the most practical way out of the problem. Major in a subject designed to get you a job seems the obvious answer to some, though this ignores the fact that many disciplines in the humanities characterized as soft often, in fact, lead to employment and success in the long run.
Okay, excellent. Great pronunciation. No problems there that I heard. So again, it says a lot of us try to focus on what can I major in, what can I study to get me a job. What Ismail was talking about exactly. And but there are so many more subjects like the humanities characterized as soft because when we talk about science, mathematics, we a lot of times say that those are hard fields as opposed to soft. And maybe when we study the humanities, they lead to employment and success in the long run. Okay, questions there?
No.
No.
In few words, you have to study.
Yeah, study something, whatever you study.
Okay.
Okay. And do you think that's true, though, that maybe if you study the humanities, you'll have a job or you'll have more success in the long run as opposed to short-term success?
Well, yes, personally,
Maybe.
Go ahead, Selma.
personally, I think that it's true because when you study humanities, this will increase your ability of imagination, and you will always have some innovative ideas. Not like when you study math and the engineering field, you would just have old ideas and you cannot go to invent a new idea unless you have studied music or drawing, something that really inspires you.
Mm-hmm. Right. Any other comments on that? I think it's interesting to think about how rapidly the science and technology and mathematics field changes. And I think that speaks to your success in the long run, because when you study science and math, for example, if you're studying software engineering right now, the information that you're learning is probably not going to be very useful in 20 years. You're going to have to continue to study and relearn these new things because the technology adapts and evolves. But these humanities, they stay more the same. They do evolve, but at a slower pace, and maybe that affects how what we're talking about here, this long run success.
I think that the real question is, uh, should our school uh, have to direct his attention on the future citizen or the future employees? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is it important to create engineering, mathematics, scientists, or good citizen? I think that this is the main question in this article, because I think that the school has the role to create citizens as well, good citizens as well. And to do so, school should include in his program such soft subject as humanities and social one. That's
Mm-hmm.
the my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's excellent, and something we'll get to if we have time at the end or closer to the end of the article. Is that these subjects might not produce the ideal employee, as you said, but they will produce the ideal citizen.
Okay, for example, if we create, okay, if a school create the best engineer, okay, but he's a mean one. Okay? I mean, he's crazy. He's completely okay, completely crazy. This is
Mm-hmm.
a defeat in a way. This is the defeat because schools should create a good engineer, but as well as a good citizen as well. This is my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
guess go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, people or labor force. Yeah, it's the big difference.
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. Let's go to the next. Waleed, would you read the next paragraph for us?
Okay. Indeed, according to surveys, employers have expressed a preference for students who have received broadly based education that has taught them to write well, think critically, research creatively, and communicate easily.
Okay, excellent. Just a point on the pronunciation of these words ending in ed. So all of
Yes.
these words should be pronounced not with the extra syllable. So this, instead of expressed, it should be expressed. Expressed.
Expressed. Okay.
Okay, and similarly,
Thanks.
this should be received. Okay,
Okay. Thanks.
excellent. So, and Giovanni and Denise, you mentioned that as well, that we're talking about the difference between producing good employees and good citizens. Well, here it says, according to surveys, employers have expressed a preference for these well-rounded students. So not only is it to be a good citizen, but also a good employee. I think it makes a better employee, in my opinion.
Yes.
Okay.
And by the way,
Let's go. Oh, go ahead.
just by the way, well-rounded, is it a formal term? It's a good word to use it in everyday speech.
Yeah, we can use it both in formal and in everyday speech. So this is a more, it's a more formal
How can
text.
you say it?
It's a more formal text, but both informal and formal use is completely fine with this. To say a well-rounded person, somebody who is skilled in many areas and has education in a lot of things.
And how can you describe a person with a lot of different interests in I don't know, in every field of life? It's not clever, not smart, but not curious, because curious sounds very strange in this way. Not curious person.
There's a perfect word for what you want to say, but I can't think of it.
Person with the curiosity.
I'm trying to think of the word. There's a word for exactly what you're talking about. Somebody who has a lot of interest.
Spit it up, please.
I'll get back to it. Don't worry. I'll try and find it. I'm searching my brain right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry for my question.
No, it's a good question. But any other questions while I'm thinking about that one? Okay, let's go to the next paragraph. Alexis, if you would read it for us.
Okay. Moreover, students should be prepared, not just for their first job, but for their fourth and fifth jobs, as there is little reason to doubt that people entering the workforce today will be called upon to play many different roles over the course of their careers. The ones who will do best in this new environment will be those whose education have prepared them to be flexible.
Okay, very good, very good. And I think this is kind of true in our age, that there are a lot of professions that require many different skills. So you don't just want to be skilled in one area, you want to have a lot of different skills.
Yeah.
Okay, questions? And your pronunciation was great.
Thanks.
Okay, Andrew, would you read the next one for us?
Those with the ability to draw upon every available tool and insight gleaned from science, arts, and technology to solve the problems of the future and take advantages of the opportunities that presents themselves will stand themselves and the United States in good stead.
Okay, great. Any questions there?
Yes, okay, there are some words. Okay, the first one is draw upon.
Right, those with the ability to draw upon. Okay,
Yeah.
to draw upon is to use, usually to use something for your advantage. So to draw upon every available tool and insight. So they're taking advantage of the tools and insights that are available to them.
Okay.
Okay, so for instance, let me say if you have a rich uncle, you might draw upon his money. You might use his money for your advantage.
Okay, it makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, the second one is insight.
Sorry?
Insight. Okay, draw upon every available tool and insight.
Insight is referring to knowledge, so some kind of knowledge or information. So you have tools and drawing upon those tools as well as the knowledge.
Okay. The third one is gleaned.
Okay, gleaned is coming from. So gleaned from science, arts, and technology. All of these tools and knowledge that comes from or is gleaned from science, art, and technology.
Okay, great. The last one is stead.
Okay, let's see. Oh, at the end here. Present themselves will stand themselves and the US in good stead. Good stead or in a good position. So we want them, the person and the country in a good position.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. And that probably answered a lot of other people's questions. So I hope that was good. Are there any other words that Giovanni missed?
No.
No.
Perfect. Okay, let's go next. And this will be the last one because our time is almost up. Oh, this is too bad. Let me read this real quick. It says, in May 1780, while away in France, John Adams wrote to his wife Abigail expressing his hope for the progress of the American experiment. And would you read for us, Davide, would you read the quote by John Adams?
Yeah. I must study politics and war that my son may have liberty to study mathematics and philosophy. My son ought to study mathematics and philosophy, geography, natural history, naval architecture, navigation, commerce, and agriculture, in order to give their children a right to study painting, poetry, music, architecture, statuary, tapestry, and porcelain.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And you'll see a lot of old spellings in this paragraph because it's from 1780, and English has changed a little bit, so there's some antiquated spellings there. But I think this is a great quote and one that we can end on by John Adams. Any questions or last comments before we end the class?
Okay, the first one is while away in France.
While away in France. So while away in France, John Adams, it means that John Adams was on a trip in France.
Okay.
Okay, so he wrote this letter while he was in France to his wife Abigail.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And basically we can see that John Adams agrees with the author here that it's important to study these hard topics, but also important to study the soft topics as well.
Okay. Another one is, what is tapestry?
It's tapestry.
Tapestry,
And
sorry.
it's no problem. And a tapestry is like when you're weaving fabric. So like creating a blanket or a rug
Carpet,
or something, a
Oh.
carpet, yeah.
Just like knitting.
Right, it could be similar to knitting. So
Okay.
creating a fabric.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, it's interesting for a man.
So just another kind of art, and porcelain is the same. Another kind of art. It's not the same thing, but it's another kind of art. Making like pots and pans and things like that.
Okay.
Okay. So again, we'll leave off there. If you want to continue the article, you are more than welcome to, and I'll post the link in the chat. But I hope that you were able to practice a little bit your pronunciation, your conversation, and learn a couple new words. So thank you again for joining. I hope
Okay.
to see you soon,
Bye.
everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Audrey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.